Want your EV to charge for pennies while everyone else pays dollars? Smart chargers promise that. But the real payoff depends on how you drive, where you live, and whether your utility actually differs, and whether your utility actually offers time of use savings. Smart chargers talk fancy, scheduled charging, load balancing, dynamic rates, and even vehicle to grid. But most owners just want a full battery in the morning. This video breaks down what smart chargers are, what smart chargers actually do, shows the numbers that matter, cost, convenience, battery wear, and gives a simple rule to decide if the extra cash is worth it. We'll connect each claim to studies and real data so you can make a buy or pass decision tonight. Hello everyone, I'm Shayan, an engineer specialized in electric vehicle development. What a smart charger actually gives you. A dumb charger is basic. It supplies power until the car is full. A smart charger adds software, scheduled charging, remote control, load sharing across multiple EVs, integration with home solar, and the ability to respond to utility signals. Smart units often include energy metering, usage logging, and firmware updates. But features aren't the same as value. The real financial win from a smart charger usually comes from shifting energy to low-cost hours and avoiding peak hours. The model is straightforward. If your utility has cheaper off-peak kilowatt-hour or lower overnight rates, a smart charger that finishes charging at 5:30 a.m. can save a lot compared with a dumb charger that starts right when you plug in. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory, or NRL, has documented large grid and cost benefits when charging behavior is shifted to off-peak hours. The numbers that make valid scare. Let's make this painfully practical with numbers you can use. Assume a commuter who needs 10 kWh per day, like 30 miles. If peak electricity price is 30 cents per kilowatt-hour and off-peak is 12 cents per kilowatt-hour, shifting those 10 kilowatt to off-peak saves around 1.80 cents per day. Saving per year is equal to $657. That's real money, but only if your utility actually differentiates rates and the smart charger reliably hits the off-peak window. If your difference is smaller, say 5 cents per kilowatt hour, annual savings drops to about $182. The point, smart chargers monetize the rate structure, and where rates are flat, the financial case is weak. But cost avoidance isn't just about kilowatt hour. For home with limited electrical service, a smart charger can manage load so you avoid an expensive panel or service upgrade. A level 2 charger at 40 amp can draw roughly 9.6 kilowatt. That's a heavy slice of a typical 40 amp circuit. Smart charging can throttle or schedule multiple EVs so you never exceed your panel capacity and avoid a $3,000 to $10,000 electrical upgrade. That alone can justify the smart unit for multi-EV households. Battery health, grid support, and future value. People worry about whether smart charging harms a battery. The truth, gentle, scheduled level 2 charging is usually better for the battery life than frequent DC fast charging. Recurrent Auto fleet data shows rapid fast charging cycle correlates with faster capacity decline, whereas steady home charging preserves long-term health. But smart chargers can do more. They can avoid charging at high battery temperatures by scheduling or preconditioning windows. And they can limit maximum state of charge to prolong life. That means smart chargers can both save money and nudge battery aging the right way. A double win. On a broader scale, utilities and grid operators value smart chargers because aggregated smart charging can reduce the peak demand and integrate more renewables. Managed charging reduces the need for peaker plants and can avoid grid upgrades. In markets rolling out dynamic rates, a smart charger can even respond to wholesale price signals, potentially turning an EV into a financial asset rather than a liability. The cost and complexity trade-off. Smart chargers cost more. A basic dumb level 2 wall box runs typically $200 to $500. Good smart chargers start around $600 and go to $1,500 for high-end models with Wi-Fi, solar integration, load management, and OpenADR or OCPP support. So the question is, does that extra money pay back? But payback depends on 4 variables. Do you have a real time of use or dynamic rates that creates meaningful kilowatt-hour price spread? Do you often rely on public fast chargers, which smart home units don't replace? Are you a multi-EV household or limited by panel capacity? Do you plan to use solar or V2G in the future? If you answer yes to one or more, a smart charger may pay back quickly. If not, you may simply be buying convenience and fancy features. Use cases where smart is clearly worth it. Time of use savings. If your utility offers cheap overnight rates and the spread is above 10 cents per kilowatt hour, and you charge enough daily, more than like 10 kilowatt hour, a smart charger usually pays back in 1 to 3 years. Those are conservative numbers and assume you actually use scheduled feature. Grid limitation avoidance. If adding a second EV would force a 5,000 service upgrade, a smart charger that load shares can avoid the cost entirely and pay for itself immediately. Third, solar owners. If you want to maximize self consumption of rooftop solar, a smart charger that follows PV output can increase self consumption by 20 to 40%, improving economics. That's real value if your solar panels are already installed. Fourth, fleet and workplace charging. For businesses and municipalities, smart chargers reduce demand charges through controlled dispatch and aggregate management. Huge savings when demand charges are part of the bill. But not all buyers fit those scenarios. For single EV households on flat residential rates with plenty of panel capacity, the financial return is small and the purchase becomes a lifestyle pick. Remote start, app control, and firmware updates. Not all smart chargers are equal. Key features to compare: scheduling and local load management must be reliable. Energy metering and export import support, which is critical for solar setups. Open protocols like OCPP or OpenADR, important if you want future interoperability. Firmware updates and cybersecurity. A smart charger should stay secure and upgradable. Choose features based on the use case. If your sole goal is time of use savings, scheduling and accurate metering are the most important. If you plan V2G later, protocol support and manufacturer roadmap matter. The simple decision rule. Here's the no nonsense rule that beats vendors' slogans. Buy a smart charger if and only if one or more of these are true. Your utility has meaningful time of use spreads, you have limited panel capacity and might avoid an upgrade with load management, you own solar and want to maximize self-consumption, or you run a fleet or workplace and face demand charges. If none of those apply, a good reliable dumb level 2 unit will still give you cheap, safe home charging and save most of the people thousands over public charging. Final practical checklist. Check your electric bill. If off-peak versus on-peak is more than 10 cents per kilowatt hour, smart charging can pay back. Count your EVs and circuit capacity. Multiple EVs or tight panels favor smart load management. Think about solar and future plans. Want V2G, solar follow, or utility rebates? Choose smart and OCPP friendly. Shop features, not brand flash. Accurate meter, scheduling reliability, and protocol openness beat color screens and flashy apps. If you want to learn more about the battery management system inside the electric vehicle, how it calculates state of charge and state of health, and other characteristics inside the electric vehicles, you can click on the link in the description. Thank you.